Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to give y'all some completely clean book recs for teens of all ages. I first wanted to start with the age group 12 to 13, which is the hardest to find books for, honestly, because you've read all of the kid books and you can't find anything in the adult books that are in the young adult books that are clean. So I have some good middle grade book recommendations that are great and hopefully you haven't heard of. So to start off, we have Book Scavenger by Jennifer Chambliss Burtman. And I actually read this book like a year or two ago, I think, and I really liked it. It is a middle grade mystery about this girl named Emily who just moved, and her neighbor, she makes friends with her neighbor, and there is this thing they like to do called Book Scavenger, where people hide books all over the place and they give you clues, and so you go hunt for the books. But then they realize something's wrong with the person who created that website, and so they have to figure out what happened. This is a trilogy and I've read all three of them and they're all really good. I love them. Actually, the last two I just read a month or two ago. The next book I have is another middle grade mystery. It is Winter House by Ben Gooderson, and I really love this book. I got this book for Christmas when I was 13, I think, but I would almost be 14, and I read it the next month, I think. But this is based in winter. It's got snow, so it's a great book to read in the winter. And so this girl who lives with her aunt and uncle, but they ship her off to this hotel, and she like lives in this hotel for the winter. And there's this whole mystery going on there, and mysterious things happen, and she has to solve it all. And there's a lot of like puzzles and things in here that are really fun to work out. And I really love these books. I actually want to reread them when it comes to winter because I haven't read them in so long. But this is also a trilogy and I love all three of them. Next book is, this is the third book in the series. It's a trilogy, but it's Out of My Mind by Sharon M. Draper. This is the third one, Out of My Dreams, which I didn't know existed until like a month or two ago, and I just read it. It's about this girl named Melody who has cerebral palsy, and she can't walk or talk, but she has full like control of her brain, and she is really, really smart, but nobody knows that because she can't tell anybody. And so she it's like her journey of trying to tell everybody that she's really smart, she's like a genius, and figure out like how to communicate with people and stuff. I really love these books. I love all three of them. I think I read the first one I was like 10 and I loved them, and I just read this one a month or two ago and I still love it. So definitely go and read this book. Yes, this one might actually be my favorite. Is The Strangers by Margaret Peterson Haddix, and this is a mystery book. It's about these three siblings, Chess, Finn, and Emma. Yeah, Emma. And their mom has always kind of been like mysterious, kind of, but then one day she just disappears. And supposedly she's coming back. It's very suspicious, and they are staying with this lady, but they have a cat, so they have to go back to their house and stuff. And then they find clues that their mom probably isn't coming back and they need to find where she is. And so I love this book. It's a great mystery. It can get a little spooky at sometimes, but this is also a trilogy. I guess all the ones I just said were trilogies, but this is also a trilogy and I love all three of them so much. Last one for the 12 to 13, and this one is Framed by James Ponti. This is also a trilogy. Gosh, all the trilogies. And it's about this boy who he really picks up on the small details about things, and so the FBI recruits him to discover, like, figure out things, because he finds all the little details and puts them into the big picture. And it's really, really cool because the things will happen and then they'll talk about how he figured out all the little things. And you're like, wow, those were there and I didn't even see them. And it's so cool because then it's not one of those things like, how was I supposed to figure that out? You're like, I could have figured that out. How did I not? But I love these so much. They're so good. James Ponti is amazing. Now on to the 14 to 15-year-old group. Um, the first books I'm going to start off with are the Hagenheim series. I only have one of these, and I think it's the 8th one. They're historical fairy tale retellings. They're based in Germany, and I can't remember the time period, but I really, really like them. And the fairy tales are like just enough to be the fairy tale, but not enough to where you know exactly what's gonna happen. And so I really like them. I have read 7 of them and loved them all. They were all, except for the first 2, which are my least favorite, were all 5 stars. The second book is a historical fiction that I absolutely love, and it is Hattie Big Sky by Kirby Larson. It is about a girl named Hattie who inherits this land from one of her family members up north, and she's never been there before, so she has to go there. It's in the 1800s, and she goes up there and she has to, like, her house is dilapidated there and stuff, so she has to fix up her house and plant a crop so that she can do the claim on her house and stuff. I don't know, it's very interesting. I love them so much. There's actually 2. The first one is my favorite. I love it a lot. And all these books I'm wanting to reread now because they're so good. Next is The Sinking City by Christine Cohen. And I read this last year, I think. Either it was last year. And this is about a 16-year-old girl named Leona who is in some sort of nobility, and she runs away because she discovers this secret that everyone's been keeping from her. And she goes and she disguises herself as a boy and is the apprentice of this magician. And everyone says he's really dangerous and stuff, but he teaches her all these things, and she has to defeat these water people that are going to overtake their city. I loved this book so much. It was a 5-star. I liked it way better than Christine Cohen's other book, The Winter King, which kind of confused me a little bit, that book. But I loved this book a lot. 4th recommendation for 14, 15-year-olds. This one is The Labors of Hercules Beale. And this is a middle grade book, but I read it when I was 14 and I loved it. Or maybe 15 even. 14 or 15. One of those. I loved it. Once this boy named Hercules Beale, and everyone like makes fun of him for his name being Hercules and stuff, but his teacher at school gives everyone an assignment to complete, I think over the summer, but maybe not. But his is to do the 12 labors of Hercules. And he's like, how the heck do I do that? So he does real life things and relates it to those. And it's like, he has a bunch of like family problems and stuff, and it's like him getting through them with each labor. And I thought that was very interesting, and I really liked that book. Also, the cover's really pretty. Last but definitely not least for the 14, 15-year-olds is The Unselected Journals of Emma M. Lyon. I love these books so much. They are based in the 1880s, and the main character is Emma, who her parents have died, and she is 20, I think, when the book starts. It's just like it's historical fiction. Nothing is really like happening in it, but she's really funny, and everything that just happens in it is funny. The book is, it's just like a humor book, and I love them so much. And there's 8 of them at the moment, and they're supposed to be like 25 or something like that. But the 9th one is supposed to come out this year, and I really hope it does because I need to know what happens. That last book was amazing, and I loved it so much, and I need the 9th one. Now for the last age group, which is 16 to 17. I'm 16, so these are just books that I have read. And the first one is Reverence by Raina Rood. This book is so good. It's a trilogy. I am a little over halfway through the 3rd one, and well, way over halfway actually. I think I'm like 80% through the 3rd one, and they're so good. Like, I never know what's gonna happen, and I need to know what's going to happen. But it's about this girl named Kira, and she is 19, and it's a dystopian. So in this world, they're in this city, and it has a barrier around it, and they're not allowed to leave it and go into the unregulated zones, which are dangerous. But inside the wall, there's not enough room to keep everybody, so people volunteer to die, basically, to keep room in their city. And she is a person that like makes sure the volunteers make sure that volunteers have like the best week they can have, like their last week. But she discovers that her city isn't that great, and when this one volunteer is like not afraid to die and he just wants to spend his whole week with her. And it's so good. I love them so much. It is a Christian dystopian and I love them so much. I just need to finish the third one, but I don't want to finish the third one because I don't want it to be over. Okay, the second book is Rogue Secreto by Victoria McCombs. In this video, I tried to suggest only things I have never suggested to y'all before, and I've suggested so many of Victoria McCombs books. I think this was the only one left that I haven't suggested, which it's one of the best ones. It's about this girl, I forget her name, but she is a princess, but she is also secretly the Rogue Secreto, and she hears everybody's secrets. And so when people need to know something about somebody, they come to her. And nobody knows it's secretly the princess. Anyway, it gets a little overwhelming for her, so she runs off to the woods when people start to figure out who she is. And the woods are supposedly bad, and they only take bad people, and they like keep the good people out. But the forest like welcomes her. And so she goes in there, and she finds this castle thing with this boy trapped inside. And so she goes and visits him like every day and stuff, and it's just so good. And there's this like, I don't know how to say the rest without spoiling it, but it's so amazing. I don't own any of Victoria McCombs books, which is crazy because she's my favorite author, like of all times by far. And so I'm actually gonna buy this one because it's one of my favorites and it's a standalone. It's so good. Next we have a, I guess it's kind of like a thriller, Lake City Heroes series. I think there's 4 of these. And it's people in law enforcement, and they usually have some sort of like trauma in their past or whatever, and that's like why they have these jobs like they wanted to. And it's romantic suspense as well. There's 2 people and their stories always connect somehow, and they're always solving a case that has something to do with their past, and they're just so good. They kind of get scary sometimes though, like they're kind of realistic, and I'm like, ugh. But I love them so much. There's 4 of them, and one of them is actually pretty new, the last one that came out. They're really good. It's by Lynette Eason. Number 4 for the 16, 17-year-olds is the Timeless series by Gabrielle Meyer. This is a historical fiction, and it's time travel. It's about these people who, when they fall asleep in the time they're in, they wake up in another time the next day, and they go back and forth between the times, and they're usually something major happened in these times that's happening now, and they go in between it back and forth until their 21st birthday, I think, and then they have to choose which time they want to stay in for the rest of their life. And so they always, at the beginning, they know which one they want and stuff, but then something happens and they go back and forth, and you never know which one they're going to end up in. And I just love them so much. And there's 7 of them, and I think there's supposed to be like 10. So I'm really excited for the rest of them. They're so good. We are finally at the last book recommendation, and that one is Let's Pretend I'm Okay by Jasmine Little. This book was amazing and really sad. It is a romance book that like deals with grief and stuff, but it's about the main character's name is Margot, and she has cancer, like stage 4 leukemia, I think. And the only thing she wants to do before she dies is have everyone she knows, give them like what they want. And so she has a list of things she wants to do for everybody, and she's trying to complete them. And for her sister, it's to have her fall in love. And her sister has like fallen in love with this guy that Margot doesn't like. He doesn't seem very nice. And so she's tries to become friends with him to see if he's a good match for her sister. And then it's so good and so sad. Like I cried a lot of times reading through it. And it's just so good. It's probably one of my favorite reads of the entire year so far. And I've read 93 books at this time. I think I'm gonna end that video here. Please tell me if you've read any of these or if you're going to now, and I hope this video was helpful. Bye.